let's just pivot just a little bit to something more entertainment based. DC is going character to character to just essentially fuck them up. And I think a lot of this has to do with taking it to their political and social enemies more than anything. A lot of folks are under this moronic impression that, well, they do this stuff to kind of get a rile up out of you. I think maybe that is true, but you need to understand that's retarded because it doesn't equal sales. Okay? So this whole all publicity is good publicity is fucking nonsense. No, that's not true. And anybody that's ever definitely done anything in the entertainment or public sphere knows that there's bad publicity. It exists and it can fucking ruin your business. You see where the DC Comics, for example, and Marvel for that matter, are in the red for the vast majority of the comics that they have out there. And it looks like all the cosplayers and the Instagram stan accounts and all that shit don't actually go and buy books. But it is not going to stop them into turning shit into goofy shit because they want to, I don't know, appeal to these fucking weirdos. The latest person who has now random sexuality changes is one of the OG original black characters, and that is Vixen. Now, Vixen, she's near and dear to me. We have, you guys see me in my other room. I have a big, massive, like, fucking poster of her, of Vixen. I thought I love the story, love the kind of uniqueness of her kind of power set, if that's what you're gonna want to call it. I went to bat for her when they unfortunately jacked her original look, and then put it on tokenized Black Canary in that stupid fucking Birds of Prey movie. And you can go check that out. Actually, go watch my long form breakdown of that, where I talk about the history of the Birds of Prey. And I talked about that instance, and I talk about Vixen and all of that. Go check that out. But it looks like now, all of a sudden, I mean, obviously they got Harley Quinn. They got Poison Ivy. We talk about DC, Tim Drake, fucking John Kent. I mean, they just going character to character, and now they're homosexual out of nowhere. It looks like Vixen now. On a comic book that's going to be based on this HBO Max animated series, Vixen is now a lesbian. I mean, look at her. She even has like this cut and all this shit. What the fuck is DC's retconning a great many of their well-known characters covered by J.B. Augustine over Abounding in the Comics, from Abounding in the Comics. Well-known characters of LGBT continues at a rapid pace, as now Vixen can be added to the growing list, albeit in an alternate timeline that's not meant to be taken serious. I don't care. Anytime they do that, it's with effort and it's with purpose. So everything is a different timeline to them. That's the excuse and why modern comic books suck from a continuity standpoint, because they get to pull the it's a different universe, it's a different timeline, all this shit, it's a different version of the character, it's not set in the main universe, all this other shit. At the end of the day, Vixen, for whatever reason, is fucking homosexual at the end of the day. And that should never be depicted. Based on HBO Max adult cartoon written by T. Franklin and drawn by Max Sarin, Eric Owen, and Marissa Louise. Issue 4 of Harley Quinn, the animated series, the Eat, Bang, Kill tour sees Harley and Poison Ivy run into spirit animal channeling heroin during a venture to Detroit. While they are truly trying to do good and stop a sludgy villain, the pair of villains aren't exactly welcome to the Motor City, as Vixen eventually learns of their presence on her turf and runs to stop them. Vixen from Detroit. And the tie-in series caught social media's attention when it took a turn for the subversive and the way just about everything goes in Quinn's bloody, raunchy, adult-themed show. At one point in the story, Vixen is leaving a fashion show performance and getting into a limo with a disabled female companion by the name of Ellie. Yep. You can see it. It's right there. And from there, Vixen cartoonish eyes shooting from her eyes, hard eyes, that is, in order to drive the point home to the readers, begins to channel a giraffe and tells the driver to raise the partition as she makes a move on L. And as you can see, that's what she's doing right now. That's what they're referring to. This guy has a look on her face. She's basically trying to make an advance. Again, I don't know why it is that they treat Remember, Chuck Dixon talked about this. Chuck Dixon was really one of the guys that brought it to my eyes on my show. He's like, why do they keep making these gay characters as predators? Like, isn't that fucking weird? And yeah, it is fucking weird that they seem to continue to treat them as their fucking predators. Nonetheless, I will not be reading from this goofy bullshit. Lesbian Vixen is now a thing, and don't be surprised if that's going to cross over into some live action shit now that they have excuse. Look, none of your heroes are safe, which is why I say bury them. Look, at some point in time, none of this shit is going to be here. We'll have all Rippaverse shit. And we have to accept the fact that basically anything that exists right now, don't even consider it canon. Don't buy the shit. Don't just make fun of it. If you're going to do anything, mock it, shame it, laugh at these fucking goofballs, and stop subsidizing them. Whatever you do, just stop it. The insane people now control them. We have to accept it. If you need your itch, go to your local comic book shop. Go read a back issue from 20 years ago. It's nothing necessary that you need to read that started, let's say, as of recent. It's just not necessary. Just let it die. DC, as I always say, stands for dead comics. These guys have no idea what the fuck it is they're doing. There's a bunch of lunatic, raging social justice leftists who are incapable of writing. They're not artistic in any way, shape, or form, and they write to impress their colleagues. They don't write for supporters. They don't write for fans. They don't write for customers. They write to impress their colleagues, which they think is checking some social justice box. And even if it means doing something out of spite and ruining a character, or having a version of a character that shouldn't even be a thing, because hey, look, going character to character and all of them are fucking gay now. None of this makes sense. Let this company die. They're fucking goofy as fuck. You just watched a clip from my podcast For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.